Let's go over this. Gerald, tell me when you're ready. Yeah, I got you, man. All right, let's go over crude and gold. First of all, okay, we talked about when I got on the mic, we're going into two possible trade setups on gold and crude. Let's go over to crude first. We got back inside a high value area. When you play these markets, guys and gals, the best time to play them is when you first break inside or outside of HVA. That's the best time to do it. Breaking first time outside of HVA or LVA, okay? So we broke back inside a high value area here, a high value area. So that tells us to look for a corrective wave. The moving averages were up, the trend was up, okay? Trend was up. Magenta moving average was angled up. We had a huge spread between the moving averages. So we're going to look for a corrective wave because we got back inside of high value area. You can look for the first Fibonacci dot short with the arrow with the triangle. So there was your exact bar entry on crude on the corrective wave against the overall trend. You're allowed to take corrective waves. There's only emotive waves and corrective waves. You can take corrective waves if they what? First break back inside a market profile. We had a motive wave earlier right here. Watch. There's your motive wave number 3. You see the similarity? You get back outside of LVA. All right? You get outside of, HVA. You look for the first retracement. We've been doing hundreds and hundreds of these trades since I released J signal on all these markets. It's the same exact setup every single day. Let market profile set the trade up. Let J signal be your trigger. Now check this out. There's the number 3, right? You break out of HVA, first retracement. There's your first one. The second and third signals, don't worry about them. You want to try to get the first signal from breaking inside or outside of market profile. Let me repeat myself. You want to get the first signal breaking outside or inside of market profile. I broke outside a high value area. There's my first retracement. I'm trying to catch all the wrongly positioned traders. I caught them, and there she goes, double, triangle, and arrow to the upside. Then I get back inside a high value area. What I tell you on the mic, I'm looking for two possible setups. I'm looking for a corrective wave down into a number 1 long, okay? When you get back inside a high value area, first of all, this number 3, 5-minute trend was up. I said 5-minute trend, if 5-minute trend is up, that's called a motive wave. There's only 2 wave patterns. There's one setup to learn on J signal, one setup to learn on J signal called a number 3, but there's 2 wave patterns to it. There's a motive wave and a corrective wave. A motive wave is a wave where you're with 5-minute trend over here, your 5-minute trend or your 5-minute trend filter on J signal I have built in. Okay? If the moving averages are up, if you break out HVA, take the first retracement long. If you break back inside of HVA, that's called a corrective wave. You take the first retracement signal short. That's what I told you before it happened. I said I'm looking for a number 3 short into a number 1 long because the moving averages are up. It did exactly that. We came all the way down to 08. I said, got on the mic, said it's exactly where you want to scale out if you took the number 3 short. I said the number 1 before it even came down up here at 40. I said I'm looking to go long between 07 to 10. It gets down to 08. You look for a pull-in bar because I played off this profile over here at 60.07 on the black charts. I noticed this is the first test of 60.07. It should be great support. I was exactly correct. We went into a number 3 short corrective wave down into my number 1. I was exactly correct on that. We closed above with a pull-in bar. Once you get within 2 ticks of the profile, because it's the first test of the area, you want to pull yourself in. Okay? You take the lowest low of a doji or spinning top. You don't worry about these red bars. You want to just play off a pull-in bar. A pull-in bar will only be off of a doji and spinning top. So when we got down within 2 ticks of 60.07, you start moving down. You start watching this Renko bar. You don't care about the red and green bars. You only care about the doji or spinning top. A doji will look like a plus sign, or a spinning top will be blue. Right there is my doji. I've used my line right here, my high of the doji. When it closes above that, wicks don't count. It's going to be the body of the candle. That is your exact bar entry with a 15-tick hard stop. There's my exact bar entry right here. You have a hard 15-tick stop. Here's your scale point up into symmetry dots, or before that, if you have to automate it in your automated dome. Now we're going into number 3 again, possible on the downside. So that's how you do it. You play off market profile. Number 3 was off market profile. That's why I gave you a big heads up on that. Give you a big heads up on the number 1 coming down to the exact level because they're both off market profile. On the black charts, there's only 2 trades. There's a number 1, number 3. On the J signal, there's only a number 3. It's a continuation trade. Gerald, go to gold. Gold was even more pretty on, Gerald, switch over to gold for me. Gold was even more pretty on the number 3. We clearly broke back inside of HVA, high value area. Moving averages were up, so it's going to be a corrective wave against 5-minute trend. Look how it comes up and tests my black line. There's your number 3 short. It came down to 12.15. I got on the mic, said it's exactly where you want to scale if you're number 3 short. I said before, it even came down there. Look for a number 1 bounce. I was exactly correct on that one also. The number 1 bounce, there's your spinning top. There is your pull-in bar. Remember, use your spinning top as your pull-in bar. Right there it is. Spinning top, there's your high. You got to close above that high of that spinning top. And there's your pull-in bar right there. Remember, you're going to be into a number 3 or number 1 all day long. Every single day you trade these markets. For the next, it doesn't matter. The same exact number 1, number 3 has been working for 30 years. 30 years in the market. That's how I can call this stuff way ahead of time, half hour. Like yesterday, I called the top half hour before it happened. We got that high number 1. Today, call the number 3 number 1 way before it happened. Because you can predicate your trades off of market profile, right? So make sure you keep your stops in because when they're wrong, when market profile is wrong, we want to make sure we limit our risk to only $150 per 1 contract. No matter what, if you take any trades off these number 3s off the 3SEM or number 1 off my black charts or 3 off the black charts, you don't risk more than $150 per 1 contract. You don't do it. Because you're going to go from 1 to 3s all day long. 1 to 3, 1 to 3 all day long. Don't risk more than $150. All right? It's not even 9 o'clock yet. A lot of you guys are going to be done already again this morning. You just got to let market profile set it up. Now look at the similarities. Gerald, I'm going to put gold beside crude. I want you to look at the simulators on the setup. Now check this out. Same exact setup, isn't it? Look at that. That's how the market works. Look at that. Same exact setup. Broke inside of HVA, number 3 short on crude oil, on gold. Broke inside of HVA, number 3 short on crude. Came down to my support because moving averages were up on my number 1 trade with the pull-in bar. Came down to my support. They both hit LVA. Look how market profile calls these trades day after day after day after day after day. Then what I say on crude oil, go back to crude oil, Gerald. I said we're back into number 3. Why? Look at this. It's just clockwork. This is crazy. 1 to 3, 1 to 3 all day long. I said we're into number 3. There's J signal coming up. Look at my profile over here, my volume profile, breakdown, retest to 37. Where's it stop? 37. Then you get a number 3 rollover again to the downside based upon the black charts with the J signal and a pull-in bar. It goes into 1 to 3 all day long, guys. That's all we're doing. 1 to 3, 1 to 3 all day long. You just need to learn 2 setups. It's been working for 30 years in the market off these profile levels of high value and low value area. It's either going to be a number 1 or number 3. That's how you can call this stuff on a daily basis. We did it yesterday. We did it again today. Congratulations. All right. Next trade is going to be a breakdown, retest of 60.07 if it happens on crude. Okay. You guys have a great one.